We are going to work very hard on good climate. We're going to work very, very hard on clean air and clean water. Those are all important things, very important things.
I believe strongly in clean water and clean air, but I don't believe that what they say, I think it's a big scam for a lot of people to make a lot of money.
The sign out there said it was Weather Modification Inc. I saw a sign out there that said Weather Modification Inc. There it is right there.
We were spraying Sector 2 fairly heavily, as you know, but we're getting to some of the thunderstorms we created because when you drop that much barium, things happen, as you know. We got a leak in the tank and some of the turbulence, and we did the usual containment, nothing out of the ordinary, but...
I'd like to know, when is Donald Trump going to stop the chemtrails? There's the sun coming up. When is Donald Trump going to stop the chemtrails?
This diagram is from MIT, where you clearly see an aircraft spraying particulates out the back. Now, again, this is mainstream scientific discussion. We have every major science institution talking about these issues right now.
Another example is the array of technologies, often referred to collectively as geoengineering, that potentially could help reverse the warming effects of global climate change. One that has gained my personal attention is stratospheric aerosol injection, or SAI.
These lines in the sky have been created from aircraft. These aren't a natural phenomenon. So we're now seeing black chemtrails because what they're spraying is causing these chemtrails. This is disgraceful. This is an apocalyptic scene. He is a very experienced former commercial airline pilot with over 10,000 hours experience under his belt.
I became very aware of it, and I looked into the skies, and it was all over the place.
Weather Modification Inc. But that's something right there, and all this weird stuff is for the weather modification. That is right there. There's the chemical tanks right there, and whatever that thing is up there.
Yesterday, when I looked up in the sky, there were just a lot of chemtrails. As I lay out on the grass out there and looked up at the sky, I watched 6 of them roughly fly over within an hour, hour and a half.
Chemtrails, by the way, barium salts are in chemtrails. They are 10,000 times more toxic to your nervous system than lead. They contain mycobacteria, viruses, Pseudomonas florensis bacteria, human plasma. Wonder what human plasma is doing in chemtrails.
I am definitely at the right spot. Let's go see. They got a camera on me right there. There's a big old ball at the top. I don't know what that is. Okay, I'm in. Hi.
That's much higher. Just appeared. Out of nowhere.
This is a 40-page congressional research document, geoengineering governance and technology. Even going back to the 60s, for example, we have 80-page presidential documents outlining the scope and scale of these programs even back that far.
A method of seeding the stratosphere with particles that can help reflect the sun's heat, in much the same way that volcanic eruptions do. An SAI program could limit global temperature increases, reducing some risks associated with higher temperatures. Absolutely disgraceful. This is a completely unnatural sky, and we've just witnessed the blackest chemtrail ever. Look, there's a plane arriving, about to land over at Gatwick.
I had a reunion of some pilots. We were with 9 pilots, and these were all pilots, all very experienced training captain. And I pointed to the skies and I said, "Listen, guys, you're specialists."
Do you know where Weather Modification Inc. is?
Yeah, you're close.
Are
you meeting somebody?
No, I just kind of want to find out what they do.
Let me, people take you, I'll get something for you, okay?
Thank you.
And the whole sky was all white with chemtrails. But today is Saturday, and the chemtrail pilots obviously have the day off.
And this is not by conjecture. I did a lot of research before I'd ever say this, but these chemtrails are nasty. And there's 3 reasons for chemtrails. The first is and I talked to my NSA buddies at Fort Carson, Peterson Air Force Base, and Buckley, where I was actually their doctor taking care of the pilots flying and spraying the chemtrails.
Okay, we are in. Is this their office or?
It's back. Yeah.
Do they just have a pamphlet on what they're?
I'm sorry. What was the? We can visit the website.
I know. I've been at the website.
Our air and our natural resources, we're in very great danger from the pollution that's coming down over us. And we've been led astray by the military-industrial complex, and they're responsible for the cloud's creation and weather manipulation programs.
I received an email from one of these guys. He said, listen, Willem, I didn't see it then when you pointed it out. But since then I'm observing the skies, and now I see it. I'm totally shocked. My whole world fell apart.
I know they say that they do weather modification. I just kind of like know how to do it.
Can you look at the aircraft over here?
And he's one of the pilots who's going to be speaking today.
Looking up at the sky, and that's when I started noticing not natural contrails. There's just something that wasn't natural. Contrails don't stay all day long. Now I'm convinced, there's no doubt about it, there's something going on in the sky that's not natural.
I invited a commercial airline pilot to come speak with all of us interested in the phenomenon known as chemtrails or aerosol geoengineering. I made it clear to all that I believe this phenomenon is indeed taking place in at least 27 countries.
So they do what now?
So they go up, and depending on where they are in the country or the world, they are trying to reduce hailstone sizes and thunderstorms by use of chemicals or whatever.
You were in the 101st Airborne. I mean, your credentials are impeccable.
Everybody's going to deny it. I mean, that's just a natural instinct. We don't believe something like this could happen. And we were doing a food program for the veterans, and I walked in, about 5 or 6 people all said, oh yeah, that's what's happening, and we know all about it and everything. And
so I know it's real. If anybody says it's not real, they're full of it. Okay, because I'm a whistleblower. On the inside, it's not open for discussion. And my NSA buddies told me, 95% of them told me, they were up there trying to spray to reflect the sun out to stop global warming. So most of them are dumb enough to believe that garbage.
And weather manipulation programs, they're dark operations. That's why they're not out in the media.
Commercial pilot, flew for Delta for some time. The trees are in demise more recently now in the last couple of years than I've ever seen them. The heavy chemicals and nanoparticles that are in the air with what some people call chemtrails.
Chemicals or whatever.
So they do use chemicals in the air to manipulate the weather?
As I understand right now.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
And again, they do it, like, I know they've got a contract where they've actually made it rain in Africa.